particular LOS can be a little difficult to understand, but let's see the graph that is given. You'll have to make a little bit additions. You don't have to make a new graph. You just have to make a little bit of additions over here. So let's see the additions first and then I'll explain. My graph is not exactly the way it has been given, but nevertheless. This is already provided to you, and now these are the additions you have to make. This is given, AR is given. That shaded, the gray shaded area given to you in your textbook is AR. This part, this shaded area that I have made is AP. What I've made in blue is already given. Quickly, got it done? Alright, let's see. So basically what we are trying to do over here is we are trying to evaluate whether the model that has been given by the bank to predict its credit rating and the credit score is accurate or not. We are trying to figure out whether the rating that the bank is providing, that this particular model, that this is the amount of credit risk we are going to be facing, is accurately provided or not. Say suppose the bank is making a prediction that 5% of the people are going to be making a default. Let's say the bank is assuming that out of 100% of the population, there is going to be 5% is going to be the default rate. And over here we are talking about the percentage of actual defaults. Here on the y-axis you have the percentage of actual defaults, and on the x-axis you've got the population distribution based on the credit risk. We are assuming these people are the high risk people and these people are the low risky people. Obviously the high risky ones are going to be defaulting first and the low risky ones are not going to be defaulting. Say for example, this is the model that the bank has created for us, which is the perfect model giving us a 5% default rate. So obviously the model of the bank is correct, then the riskiest 5% people are the ones who are going to default, and that is going to be the default rate. 5% is going to be the default rate. If what the bank predicts is what exactly happens, then that model would have been a perfect model. If the actual number of defaults would have been coming from the 5% people who were actually the most riskier ones, the most risky ones based on the bank. If the 5% people that have been categorized as most risky by the bank, those are the ones who are actually defaulting, in that case the model turns out to be a perfect model. But rather that is not the case. Now what is AR and AP we need to see. What is AR and AP we need to see. Mark. First line. High scores will have low credit rating and high scores have strong credit rating. Low scores will have low credit ratings. That is fine. So basically they are high risk, low credit score. If you want you can just add that in the graph itself. Low credit score over here. High risk, low credit score. And low risk is high credit score. So credit score is low and high over here. High risk is low credit score and low risk is high credit score. Next line, cumulative accuracy profile and the accuracy ratio are often used. So we are going to be calculating something called the accuracy ratio over here, that is AR by AP. AR is this area and AP is this entire area. AR is this area and AP is this entire area. I'll come to it. So that is the accuracy ratio. Next line, CAP shows the population distribution based on credit scores versus the percentage of actual defaults. So this is talking about the population distribution based on the credit score. Which customers according to you are the most risky customers and which customers according to you are the least risky customers. And it is talking about which ones have actually defaulted. So we are trying to plot the default rate with respect to the credit scoring. I'll come to it. Next paragraph, bullets. First bullet, in a perfect model, if the bank predicts 5% of the accounts will default, then 100% of those defaults will come from the riskiest 5%. Are you understanding the point? If the bank is giving you a perfect model and the default rate is equal to 5%, then the 5% default will be from the riskiest people. Understand the serial order in which things are happening. You go to the bank to take a loan. The bank will take your profile. Based on the profile, the bank will give you a score and you will be getting a loan. Now based on, say for example, there are 100 customers. If the bank's rating model, scoring model is correct, then out of those 100 customers, and if I make an assumption that 5 people have defaulted, if I make an assumption that 5 people exactly have defaulted, then 95 of these guys who had the highest scores would not have defaulted, and the 5 people who had the worst scores would have defaulted if the bank's credit scoring model is absolutely correct. Think about it. Now please don't tell me that in that case, if the bank knows that exactly these 5 people are going to default, then why did the bank give a loan to them? The default rate is not what we are predicting. The default rate could be 5%, 7%, 3%. We are not debating on the default rate what is going to be. What we are debating is that the losses will come from the riskiest customers. So whatever credit scoring you people gave to these guys, the losses will be coming from the riskiest customers according to the bank. What if the bank gave these guys very low rating and these guys very high rating, and if these guys defaulted, that means the bank's rating model is bad. If the ones with high rating are doing a default and the ones with poor rating are actually not defaulting, that means the rating model of the bank is incorrect. Are you understanding the idea? So we need to evaluate what is the rating model of the bank, whether the rating model is correct or not. The prediction, we are not debating on whether the bank predicted 5% and the default rate was more or less. That is not the question. And obviously, if the bank is going to give out loans to 100 people, any which 100 people, there will be 5 people with the worst possible ratings, and the ones with the worst possible ratings should be the ones actually defaulting in the market, defaulting in the model. The ones with the worst ratings should be the ones who are actually defaulting. So 100% of those defaults would come from the riskiest 5% if the model that we have is absolutely 100% correct. Next bullet, a random model will assume 5% of the defaults will come from the riskiest 5%, 20% of the defaults will come from the riskiest 20%, etc. So basically the linear model is absolutely, the random model is basically constructing this, a midway kind of a graph. 5% default comes from the riskiest 5%, this much default from this much. So basically out of 100 people taking a loan, percentage of actual default, so therefore this is the percentage of default. So this much default happened from these many people, this much default from this credit rating, this much default from this credit rating, this much default from this credit rating. So a random linear model, a random model is basically taking something in a kind of a neutral approach or kind of a midway approach. Now understand, AR, this part is going to be the actual defaults that you have had. Don't you think more the actual default, which is more on this side, which it will indicate that the model is more correct? This is the actual default. This would have been the case for a perfect situation. Now more the actual defaults happening on this side. If this curve is actually more on this side, what would that indicate? These are the actual defaults. If this curve is more on the left side, that indicates that the ones with a lower credit rating or with a poorer score, with a higher risk, they are the ones who are actually defaulting. The bank is predicting, based on the bank's model, these are high risky people, these are low risky people. I would want that the high risky people be the one who are defaulting. So out of the percentage of actual defaults, out of the total number of defaults, I would want most of the defaults to be on this side or that side? This side. So if most of the people are on this side, the bank will be having a perfect model if 100% of defaults. These are not the total number of customers, these are the total number of defaults. So out of, let's say I had 10,000 people who took loans, out of which 5%, that is 50, defaulted. And now we are talking about these 50, that 50 is 100% away. Are you understanding? So out of these 50 people who have defaulted, I would want that maximum people are absolutely over here. A bank's model would be perfect model if 100% of the defaults are from this 5%. Are you understanding? This is vertical. So the worst 5% people, based on the bank's model, the worst 5% people, the most risky 5% people are the 100% defaults have happened from that area. That is a perfect model. A random model, a linear approach is saying that 5% default happened from this, so it's proportionately happening. All the defaults have happened absolutely equally from all across the model. Now we want that the actual defaults, the maximum defaults, if they're happening from this range. Obviously, in reality, this is not going to happen that the 5 worst people are actually the ones who defaulted. It is possible that your bank gave a better credit rating, but still these guys defaulted. Bank gave a better credit rating, but still these guys defaulted. But we would want less people in default over here and way more people in default over here. And this curve is representing basically the people who have actually defaulted, the scoring with respect to the actual default. The more would be the curve on this side, the more would be the low credit rating people, high risky people having a default, the more would be this area. This area is AR, this entire area is AP. Look at your book, mine has become very dirty. This area is AP and this curve, the area, the gray area is AR. The more would be the AR portion, the more would be the model perfect. That is why AR by AP is the accuracy ratio. The more your AR by AP, the more your curve is this side, the more is your accuracy. AR by AP is equal to 1 only if the model is perfect. Because then my actual defaults, and this would have been the perfect model case. And if my actual defaults was also equal to exactly this curve, then AR and AP area would be the same. Understand? And the third point, if you want, the observed cumulative default line represents the actual defaults by the bank. That is the curve. The curved line is actually representing the actual defaults, AR. If you want, you can read the next paragraph, last two lines. Next paragraph, last two lines. The scoring model must be monitored on a regular basis due to underlying changes in the population as well as potential product changes. Of course, the product mix of people today is extremely different from what it used to be earlier. The product mix that people have today is very different from what it used to be. Tell me, comfortable or not till here? Getting it? So AR by AP is your accuracy ratio. AP is basically a perfect model and AR is the reality. P for perfect, R for reality if you want to learn it that way. And the more your AR is going to turn towards the perfection, the more would be the AR by AP ratio. It would be equals to 1 if the model is absolutely perfect. Tell me, comfortable or not? AR is the reality part and AP is the perfect part. Are we good till here? This is very interesting. It's a little important if you want, because that's the most non-theoretical and the most interesting part of this chapter. You can move to the next LOS after this. See, comfortable till here? Next LOS, tell me.
You just once said that we are not discussing about the like जिनका credit rating खराब है, like we are giving them a loan, but we give an explanation at that point of time, right? We are not debating about what.
We are not debating that what will be the default rate. We are not debating whether the default rate will be 5%, 6%, 3%, 2%. What we are debating is, out of the 5% people who have defaulted, out of all the people who have defaulted, what percentage of defaults have happened from the people whom we gave poor rating. So the default should be from those people to whom we have given the poor rating. We are not debating on the default rate part. We are debating whether the ones who have defaulted are the ones that we gave poor credit ratings or not. We are evaluating whether the ones that, who have defaulted have been given poor rating or not. We are not deriving the kind of default rate or something over here. Tell me if you are good to